Hey guys, this is Rutvij and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here at TVS Satara to take a test ride of Apache RTR 164V. Now the RTR stands for Race Throttle Response, which means the bike should be sporty. But is it really that sporty? Well, it's time to find out. Let's start with the bike one by one. So guys, here I have RTR 164V, and from the front the bike looking absolutely different from what it has to offer on the previous two generations. Now absolutely this is a third generation, and the first major change is this headlight. It gets a minimalistic headlight with a bikini fairing, and here are the LED DRLs. Well, you can see them now, I think so. They don't look much bright in this daylight, but the headlight looks absolutely gorgeous. From the side, the bike has underwent a major change in design. It looks now bulky and more sporty than the previous Apache, and those tank shrouds are looking really beautiful than what it had on offer previously. There is also a belly pan available which says Hyper Edge, which was the labeling on almost every Apache till date, and it carries the same label here as well. There is the massive 160cc engine which is now fuel injected, and it produces 16.7 PS of power and 14.8 Newton meters of torque, which are absolutely class leading by any standards, and they are much bigger by almost a few points absolutely than the other 160cc bikes in the category. The next big thing which attracts attention is this, the exhaust. The exhaust is a dual barrel type, as you can see here, and it produces a really nice exhaust note. The exhaust note is so nice that you can easily identify it in traffic as well. Well, on the rear, the Apache has underwent a major change. The tail light is an LED one like the previous generations, but it is a clear lens LED. The indicators are filament ones, no LED indicators on offer. There is the lock for the seat. From this side, there is this huge sari guard, and the tires and all are so buffed up that the bike looks really nice. Well, the tire size to be specific is, well, where is the tire size? Okay, the tire size is here. It's 130/70 17-inch on the rear, and on the front it is 90/90 17-inch. So that's the tire size. It really complements the look of the bike. There is the pedal disc on front. ABS on offer or not? Well, yes, there is single channel ABS, which TVS calls it Supermoto. I don't know for what reason, because I'm not much into Supermoto thing. On the rear, yep, there is no ABS, though there is a disc brake, but no ABS on offer because, as I said before, it is single channel ABS. So that was all about the exterior looks of the bike. Well, let's swing a leg over the saddle and let's see how it feels. Well, the bike is a bit tall for my liking. My height is 5'6", and I have to tiptoe a bit to reach my feet onto the ground. But hey, there is this big fuel tank. Yeah, the fuel tank is a really nice thing which I like on this motorcycle. It's big, it is giving good amount of support for my thighs, and the fuel tank lead is offset, which I don't know for what reason, but it looks really nice. The speedometer cowl, oh, there is no cowl. The instrument cluster, I would say, the instrument cluster is backlit. It has got wide backlight, and it has got a plethora of information on offer. There is this tachometer, there is a speedometer, there is gear position indicator. There is also a gear shift indicator, and there are these two buttons to select the mode and the settings. There is trip meter also, I guess twin trip meters. There is a clock, and these are the telltale lights: the engine hazard light, fuel low, neutral, ABS, high beam. This is a key, I don't know for what, and these both are the turn indicators. Well, that's all from the static. But talking about the seat of bike, the seat doesn't feel much hard, neither it is very soft, but adequately cushioned, which is really feeling comfortable at this moment. The foot pegs are also not very rear set, but they are kind of center set, which are providing me a nice comfort for my feet, not putting me into much sporty position. The handlebar isn't a clip-on unit like the RTR 4V 200. This is 160 and it gets a conventional handlebar unit, but the 200 gets a clip-on unit. Well, this unit is nice to hold on. It is pretty wide, and what I like about this is that it's sporty as well as comfortable. So now, how is it for riding? Let's find out. Alright, so here we are with the bike, and turning on the key, the display makes a full test and it says race on, go. So we won't be actually racing, but this is a test ride. Firing up the bike, and the exhaust note is really nice. Slotting into first gear, gear shifting is slick smooth. This one gets a regular clutch, not a slipper one as on RTR 4V 200, sorry, I always keep on forgetting that. The engine feels kind of smooth, rolling off in first, shifting to second. The bike has a really nice low end. So I'm in the third gear doing 29 and 30, and the bike is offering me a good response, which I really like in the 150cc category. Though this is a sports bike we use for the city use, and that's where the low end of bike comes in handy. So I'm in fourth gear doing 35, and the engine is responding really nice. Okay, let the traffic pass. The exhaust note is really nice on this one, the twin barrel exhaust. They are giving a really nice exhaust note, and once you start dumping the clutch, the bike is offering a really nice response. There is kind of jerk, there is slight vibration in the handlebars. The suspension is a bit soft, not very stiff, it's a bit soft, but sufficient enough to absorb the bumps and all. The mid-range is where the bike is really shining, because once you get going towards 5 or 6,000 RPM, the exhaust note is really interesting to hear. I just can't stop drooling over that exhaust note. Apart from exhaust note, what really shines in the mid-range is the performance. Just twist the throttle in the mid-range, that is around 5 or 6,000 RPM, and the bike is giving such a nice response that wow, I really like this kind of response. The engine is vibration free till now. So going towards the 7000 RPM, the gear shift light has blinked, it's in red. It looks really good on this one. Doing 60 in fourth gear. Now company claims a 0 to 60 of 3.9 seconds on this particular bike. We're talking about handling of Apache RTR 160. This bike gets a dual cradle frame, I guess. It is offering a good response. The bike is really nimble and easy to handle through the traffic and through the bad roads. The suspension on the front is a telescopic fork, and on the rear it gets a monoshock, unlike the twin shock absorbers as they used to offer on the previous generation Apaches. Shock absorbing is really managed well with that chunky shock absorber on front. I don't know its size, but whatever it is doing its job really nice. But talking about the engine is really nice part of Apache, because the kind of performance it is offering, it's really decent for a 160cc bike with 16.8 PS of power and 14.8 Newton meters of torque. I guess the figures are like this, but for these numbers the bike is offering really decent amount of performance, and the power is really nicely distributed throughout the lower range and mid range, which is making this bike a very nice ride throughout the city and on the open roads as well. Now I'm just trying to test the high range. Wow, the bike is really nice in the high rev range also. Anything above 6000 RPM is giving you a nice surge of power. The gear shift light keeps on blinking, but you can still push the bike ahead. The confidence aspired is really nice. The handlebar is giving me a nice leverage around the obstacles. It's really nice to maneuver this bike around. And the front disc brake combined with supermoto ABS. I don't know what the supermoto ABS does, but whatever the ABS has on offer, it's preventing the bike's front wheel from locking under hard braking as well. And the rear brake, though it doesn't get an ABS, it is offering a really nice bite and feedback. Alright, so what I found out from Apache is that yes, this is a sports machine, but you can use it for everyday use. The plus points are the power, which is best in class, I will say, by few points, and the torque, but it is really usable. It doesn't intimidate you, it doesn't makes you feel like you're going out of control or as such. And the most lovely part about this bike is that it is feeling really friendly. No extra efforts on your body while riding due to poor ergonomics or as such. So these are a few points which I liked from Apache. That's the performance and the stalled. So that's the top speed indicator is showing I did 81 kilometers per hour. at max. So that's how these features work on instrument console as well. Finally I found the neutral. Alright, so I was talking about the good bits in the Apache RTR 164V. Firstly, the performance. Secondly, the ergonomics are really comfortable. They are not punishing as such. I like the instrument console. It is backlit in white color. That's why it is really easy to read in the bright daylight as well. Well, few things which I didn't like are, well, there are none of it actually, except for the slight buzz on handlebars and well, the handlebar buzz is all that I felt. Well, apart from that, the chassis is really nice. It responds really well. There is nothing to complain as such in this RTR 164V. Well, this was the BS4 version. The BS6 variant will be hitting the showrooms very soon. For this very showroom, it will be coming in January 2020. But for the BS4 model, I really liked whatever the TVS has offered on this bike. This has a legacy, and the 4V, well, I forgot to tell about it. The 4V stands for 4 valves. The engine is now equipped with 4 valves, and that's why I guess the response and all the performance was the product of that offering. But whatever the bike has on offer, I really like that it is a good combination of sports and a comfortable machine. And the pillion seat, which I really appreciate in this bike, is quite wide and has sufficient space to accommodate. So another plus point added in the court of Apache. That's all about this bike. Now there is also higher cc variant of the same. It is the 200cc which gets the dual channel ABS. This one gets single channel. But if 160cc is performing so well, I am really hopeful about what 200cc will be performing. So all in all, RTR 164V is really a nice sports bike, a naked sports bike to be specific, to buy and to ride in our everyday traffic as well as on the highways as well. All thanks to its low range performance, the strong mid range and the comfortable high range that the bike is so nice to perform. And that really clears out all doubts from my mind why this bike is used in many track days as a learning tool. So that was all from my side about RTR 164V. Now if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you have any opinions of yours, do mention them in the comment section, and share the video with your friends if you really like it much. And apart from that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This is me, Rutvi, signing off with this beautiful baby. I like the looks as well. So here I am signing off. See you again in another such video. Till then, ride safe, take care, and wear all the gear like I do all the time. Bye bye.